Yeah, so a lot of times, like for example, if somebody's a manufacturer arrangement to get those displayed together, they would need to be like that. Yeah, or I'm Brendan Gillespie. I manage the new product showcase at the SEMA Show, and this is Maurice O'Connell. He's going to be speaking on the feature vehicle program. So both of these are features that we would consider your booth outside your booth. So basically, these are branding opportunities that are outside of the confines of your exhibit space. So what is the new product showcase? The new product showcase is the #1 destination. I know Tom covered some of this and some of the stats, but it's the #1 destination for buyers and media at the SEMA Show. So we're talking features at the SEMA Show outside of the exhibit hall. So with our survey, buyers and media have reported that they've come to the new product showcase above all other show features. So very important destination for everybody, and even more important for you to take part in this special show feature. So it's a place where exhibitors can display their new and featured products. So here's the top 5 reasons to participate. Again, it increases booth traffic. I'm going to share the statistics again. 46% of all buyers say that they visited the new product showcase. And out of that 46%, 58 of the buyers bought or plan to buy a new product that they saw at the SEMA Show. So again, we're talking about conversions, people seeing your product in the new product showcase, coming to your booth, and eventually being a customer. The second reason to participate is lead generation. So we talked about the importance of taking advantage of lead retrieval in your booth so you can generate leads. You'll also get leads from the new product showcase. So each product that is submitted is accompanied by a descriptive sign that will have a barcode. So the sign is going to have information about the product on it, but the barcode is going to be, will have the ability to be scanned by one of our scanners or by the mobile app. You'll also be getting leads that are generated by people who are scanning those barcodes. So if you have lead generation in your booth, it'll be added into that, and you'll be able to tell that it came from the new product showcase because it will have product information. If you don't have lead retrieval in your booth, it will just be emailed to you separately at the end of the show. Okay? So last year we captured roughly 45,000 additional leads in the new product showcase. And those are all, the scanners are only available to buyers and media. Okay. The third important reason is the new product awards. So we have 16 different categories in the new product showcase. Each category has 1 winner and 2 runners-up for the best new product for that year. So we do recognize those awards at our new products breakfast on Tuesday morning. We'll be doing an awards presentation for the winners, where they'll come up on stage, collect a trophy. You can speak for a few minutes if you'd like to. We also do a plaque ceremony for our runners-up. We also heavily publicize the winners and runners-up in SEMA News magazine throughout the year. So, and that's just our publications. Other media also feature the new products winners and runners-up in their magazines throughout the year. I had a gentleman in the last room, and he was the last group, and he was a new product winner. I'm not sure if it was last year, but at some point in the past. And he had said he got significant media attention when he won a new product award, not just from SEMA, but from other publications. So we'll talk a little bit more about publications. We do, even if you don't win a new product award or runner-up, we do feature monthly editorial features, which will include the new products throughout the year. So, for example, we might focus on power sports and utility vehicles in one issue, and we would feature every product with the photo, the description, and the company information in that issue of SEMA News magazine. So it's almost an ad that you're getting as part of your participation in the new product showcase. We've also, just to name a few of the external publications that have featured new product stories, we've got Hot Rod, Diesel Power, Truck-In, Race Tech, Super Street, Auto Body News, and there's been, an infinite number of publications that will run stories on the new product showcase. So the stuff that we produce in SEMA News, we're deriving all of that information from your new product entry that you fill out when you submit your entry onto our form. We also take photos at the show. We have a professional photographer and a photo cove. So we're taking print-ready photos of the product on a white background and we offer those up to the media. So if the media wants to story, they can either use the information that we provide them and the photo we provide them, or they may be reaching out to you separately, because we do collect also a publication contact as part of the new products entry form, so that we have the proper person to talk to at your company if the media needs more information, if they want to interview you, or if our internal staff would like to reach out to you for more information. The pictures, we actually post them, and they're readily available on semaphotos.com. So if you go to semaphotos.com right now, you can go through and see new products from the past 10 years if you want to. There's different menus for each year. Yeah, so you would also have access as the exhibitors to your product photos, so you can download them right from that site. Okay. And the fifth, but also probably the most appealing reason to participate is, and I know Tom mentioned this yesterday, it is free for your first product entry. Now, when I say product entry, it's one product in one category. You can do the same product across all 16 categories if you want. You can also do 16 products in the same category. The first one's free, and each additional one is $75 each. If you're gonna do a lot, make note of that October 11th deadline, because at that point, the price jumps up to $150 each. So you can save, quite a bit of money if you have a lot of products that you're entering in and you get it in before October 11th. Okay, yes, sir.
On the agenda, I would like to have like 4 of them. So one would be free, we'd pay for the other additional 3.
Correct.
We would submit the graphics. Of course, it's basically a wheel, and you said the genre. We did one for truck, for American muscle, and basically for exotic or super sport cars. I mean, that would be different category. Is that?
So yeah, so there's the 16 different categories are predetermined. So you might want to look at what those categories are. And in fact, if you want to come see me this afternoon, I'll have a roundtable over at the FAQs. I'll have printed out the rules, and then that will also have information on all the different categories and how they're judged. And you can put the same product in multiple different categories and have different descriptions if you wish for the same product. Even if it's the same part number, if you're going more towards the restoration market, you could put the benefits or the description of the product that's more tailored towards that restoration clientele. We do have electricity that is, you have to order it through Freeman, but you can have electricity ordered for your new products display. If you're running an iPad and it's on a battery and you don't want to order power, but you just want to switch it out, every day so that it can run a presentation, you could do that, and we could just give you access, because that will, save you a little bit of money there too. But if you don't want to worry about it, you want to just order a power drop, you can. It is something that Freeman can do for you. It would probably be on one of our open tabletop displays. And we do have wheel stands if it's a wheel or a tire. So we can provide those, or you can provide your own branded ones if you want to bring them yourself. Okay. Larger products would be featured on one of the open tabletop displays. We do have enclosed glass displays too, but those are for products that are typically smaller, or if it's a more valuable item and it's small enough to fit in the case, we'll make sure it gets in there. Those are going to be 18 inches between the shelves, so 18 inches high by 18 inches deep. And then they're 2 meters wide. Yeah, the size limit is pretty large. It's 68 by 80, which is the dimensions of that double door. Okay. Yeah. So if it's something that's close to that size, but it needs to be brought in on a pallet jack, you have to keep in mind that it has to be fully assembled, and the pallet jack will have to be able to get it through that door. So how do you participate? First thing I recommend is checking out the new products rules. I know it's hard to see. Again, if you want to see me this afternoon at the round table, I'll have a full printed out copy of all the rules, and I can hand that over to you. You can also find them on semashow.com. In the exhibitor menu, you just go to new products, and you'll be able to access the rules and the entry form from that page. So I do recommend reading through what you can and cannot do in your display. We do have some rules, and there's a reason behind all of the rules that we have. And then also, I'm available throughout the year if you have any questions. My email address is also on that page. Step 2, enter your products. That's the link directly to the new products form. The deadline is October 11th before the price increases for additional deadlines, so just keep that in mind. And it's a 4-step process to enter in your products. The first 2 steps are pretty simple. Product name, the category you want to put it in, contact information, and then payment, if there is any payment for additional products. Those are the 2 steps you'll want to complete before the October 11th deadline. The 3rd and 4th step are more demographic questions about the product description, information for the judges, if it's going to be a new product, eligible for a new product award. Those you can go back and finish later. So even if you don't have that information ready before October 11th, you can still go in and just finish the first 2 steps and still take advantage of that early bird pricing, okay? Step 3, bring your products to the new product showcase to check it in. These are our showcase check-in hours. We start as early as Saturday at noon. It obviously is going to be pretty much quicker to bring it in earlier. If you wait till Monday morning, the product does have to be checked in before 10 a.m. in order to be eligible for a new product award, because that's when the judges start to do their review of the products. So that 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. time frame is going to be the busiest time. So if you can avoid bringing it in, if you're here earlier in the weekend, I would recommend coming on Saturday or Sunday, okay? If you have to bring it in on Monday, don't worry, we'll get you in. Just try and get here as close to 8 o'clock, and it might be a little bit busier than you would expect to see on the other days, okay? Step 4, please join us for the new products breakfast on Tuesday morning before the show opens. It's over at the Westgate Hotel. That's where we're gonna announce our new products winners, our new products runners up, and it's a good opportunity to network. So it's a good way to start the week. And then step 5, return to the new product showcase at the show close. We open as early as 3 p.m. on Friday, so an hour before the show floor closes, to collect your new products, okay? We do offer a promotional opportunity for your new product showcase entry. For $499 per product, you can add a carpet ad. You've probably seen them out in the hallway. We've got some 4x4 carpet ads that are on display out there as samples. But this will be a 2x2 carpet ad somewhere inside the new product showcase. It's an extra way to get your branding out. It won't necessarily be in front of your product, but it would be another touch point that you can put out, that we can put out somewhere in the new product showcase. You also get to be listed on a Spotlight Exhibitors meter panel that we'll have at the entrance to the show, and then you're gonna get 2 additional highlighted listings in SEMA News, okay? So the first one is in the January issue when we talk about our new products winners. We'll also have a Spotlight Exhibitor section for anybody that buys the promotional upgrade. And if you submit by September 5th, we'll also do a similar product focus section in our November show issue that we distribute at the show. Okay, so the show directory issue. And you'll see this, the opportunity to purchase this upgrade is on the new products form when you enter it in. So you can bypass it altogether if you're not interested. What's the difference between a new product and a feature product? So one of the biggest misconceptions is that the new product showcase, just because of the name of it, is only for new products. So if you don't have a new product, you can't take part in the new product showcase. That's not true. You can still enter in what we call a featured product. A new product is something that's defined as a product that was introduced after last year's SEMA Show, or will be introduced into the marketplace within 90 days after the close of the SEMA Show, okay? So it would have to be ready for delivery within 90 days after the show. If it meets that criteria, it can be considered a new product. If it's a product that you want to feature, you have one product that's all you sell and it's been a great seller for the last 15 years, you can still enter it into the new product showcase as a featured product. So everybody can participate. The only difference is the featured products are not eligible for a new product award. So it would still be displayed the same way as a new product would. It just won't be on the roster that the judges are going through when they're doing their judging. Am I allowed to include a video demonstrating my product? So yes and no. So if your product is what we would consider digital in nature, you can have a video that's explaining the functionality of the product, okay? Nothing marketing, nothing salesy, just explaining the functionality. Now, when I say digital in nature, I'm talking about, is your product a mobile app or a piece of software or something that connects to the OBD port in the car that if it's just sitting on a shelf, you wouldn't really be able to tell what it does because it's an application of some sort. Those you could have a video demonstrating the functionality. If it's a wheel or a tire or some kind of a tool that doesn't connect to something digital, you cannot have a video demonstrating, but you could do an 8.5 by 11 photo of the product in use or applied to a vehicle. So, I understand that with, technology and barcodes and QR codes being very popular, that's a common question. So I got that in my last session. Technically, I don't think we have anything against doing that because I do allow, you to put your website and your company name on there, just nothing marketing or salesy. But if, you're using a QR code to take you to a video, I don't see any problem with that. The only thing that you want to keep in mind is the reason that we limit the amount of information that you're putting on your product signage is because we want to drive traffic to your booth. So we got to kind of dangle that carrot in front of the buyer or the media so that they want to learn more. And the only way to learn more is to come and talk to you. So that's the goal. But at the same time, if you feel like you need that video and that could take place of you having a discussion with somebody, then that is something that I think that you could do. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Right, let me make sure. So you are allowing
QR codes? So, I've seen them more commonly, and the reason that it came up is because people were asking, hey, what if it just redirected to my website? So in that case, I allow you to put your website on there. So yeah, I would let you do the QR code that redirects you to your website. If you want to put it
into a video saying this is how it works,
you could do that if you wanted.
that's new, right?
So here's another thing to keep in mind. If you're doing that, you're kind of taking away the need for somebody to take a scanner and scan the product. Because if they're just going to use their phone to scan the QR code, and then you're not going to get the lead. And you also would risk not getting that traffic to your booth. But it's up to you. Yeah. Part of the display being a video is only eligible for products that are digital in nature. But if you wanted to do a QR code, I think we could allow that. All right, my product comes in multiple colors or sizes. Can I have a sample of each? No. You can have one sample and then a separate color chart, no larger than 8.5 by 11. So when I say color chart, it's also for sizes, for finishes, for fitments. I use the example of a floor mat that has an NFL team on it. If you offer all NFL teams, you can put that on a separate chart. Please don't bring in 32 floor mats because that's going to take up more space than it needs to. Okay. Am I able to ship my product in advance? You can ship your product in advance. There will be on the confirmation email you receive after you enter your product online, there will be a link to a Freeman Advanced Warehouse label. Slap that on the box, put your company name on there. It says new products on it. They will store it in their advanced warehouse, and they'll bring it here to the new product showcase check-in area, so it's ready for you when you get to the show. You still have to come up, unpack it, set it up if it needs assembly, check it in, and physically pass it off to us. But it's going to save you the hassle of having to get it brought up from your booth. If it's something small and you don't mind carrying it up from your booth, then it probably isn't going to save you that much time. But if it's something that's heavy that you would normally have to pay material handling on, it's going to save you that cost and that amount of time to just have it shipped directly.
If the product is digital, are we going to be allowed to go in and set that up as far as starting the video, or do we rely on somebody on your team to do it?
That's a very good question. So if your product requires some type of assembly once it's being moved into one of the display cases, we could allow you to go back with our staff to set it up. Something to keep in mind, though, is that if your product requires power, so if you are running it on a laptop and it needs to be plugged in, the power may not be immediately installed. We have a team of electricians that's going around. So if you were waiting to set up the product, you might want to just plan on coming back at a later time once the power has been installed to get it plugged in and set up. So you will also have the opportunity between 10 a.m. and noon on Monday to come back to the new product showcase, have one of our staff walk you out to the display just so you can check to make sure it's being displayed properly. It's not upside down, it's not backwards, that type of thing. But we do prohibit any type of marketing, advertising, or descriptive copy. So you want to keep it as pictorial as possible. So if you can show the product in use using an image, that's the best way to do it. As I mentioned before, websites and things like that, company name, the product or the company logo, I'm pretty flexible on that as long as it doesn't say, the world's #1 or, I've seen something as simple as a printout on an 8.5 sheet in a plexiglass stand. That's fine. Or people get something custom made with like a nice easel back, or they integrate their product into the actual board that photo is printed on. It really just depends on your creativity and your resources, the amount of time that you have to put it together. So if it's the same part number in different sizes with different associated pricing, I would put the pricing into the form for the product that you're going to have physically displayed. On the separate size chart, you can have, size, price, if you need to have separate pricing listed for the separate sizing of the product. Okay? Do have to pick up my own products at the end of the show. So you do have to come and pick up your product unless you take advantage of our UPS ship back offer. We have a partnership with the UPS store location. They will physically be at the check-in area when you're checking your product in. If you want to use the UPS ship back service, you do have to go through that specific location. Okay? I believe they can use your account number, but you still need to make arrangements through them because they'll retain your packaging. They'll actually physically go and pick up your product at the end of the show for you, package it, and ship it back to you. Okay? So, in the past, one of the biggest pain points was the amount of time that it takes to check your new product out of the new product showcase. We've really cut down on that over the past 5 years by adding tons of resources to help with the move out process. So last year we were able to have most of the products checked out by 3:45, which is 15 minutes before the show floor even closes. So despite the really long lines, they move really, really quickly once we start letting people check their products out at 3 o'clock. So yeah, but if you want to avoid that altogether, you can use the UPS ship back service. Yes, sir.
So the products in here, are they separate drayage costs from the booth cost that are being brought in here?
So it depends. If it's being moved by Freeman, it would be the same rate for drayage. But we do have Freeman staff here that will be able to provide cart service to return the products to your booth. And that, I don't believe that that's money that we're paying them to offer that service. I don't think that they extend any additional fees onto you unless you place an order at the Freeman desk. Okay? But the UPS service would be just the UPS rates if you're going to ship through UPS. Does that make sense? Okay.
So if we have the product in our booth and we need to bring it up to check it in, we don't have to use labor from our booth?
You can carry it if you.
It's too big.
If it's too big, you will have to get Freeman to move it. So in that circumstance, it probably would be best to try and do the advanced warehouse shipping, because then you're going to cut out that service charge from your booth up to here. Yeah. But if you have to ship it to your booth, you would just go to Freeman, submit a service ticket, and they will actually have it moved up here for you on cart service. We do also offer, if your product is something that you'd like to donate to the Alex Exidius Center for Automotive Arts, we do have that as an option, and you can just select that on the entry form. Then you wouldn't have to come back and pick up your product. You can donate it to the school. Okay. Additional information. So again, here's that link to the new products rules. If you see me at the roundtables, I'll give you a printed out copy of those rules. You can also get to them from semashow.com. Very important to familiarize yourself. It's not just rules, it's also got all of the information on the new products awards, how to order electricity, how to deliver your products, the move out procedures, all that stuff is all available online. Okay? Yeah, so if you have a previous award winner, you can enter it as a featured product, and you can put in the description that it was a previous SEMA award winner. Yep, no problem. Yes, sir.
Question about how the product is displayed. It's a large off-road tire. That
Okay. Okay.
Where are your rules about like displayed with that product?
So we will always provide the little half-page sign that's got the company name, product name, MSRP, and the product description. That will go by the side. If it will fit on one of our tabletop displays, we'll put it up there. We have wheel stands, but you're welcome to provide your own. Yeah, if you want to bring a branded one, that's fine. If it won't fit on the table, if it's too heavy or too large, we display them around the base of the tire displays, where the smaller tires will be up top and the bigger tires will be. We've had a tire that's, an enormous tractor tire that we've been able to display in an area before. So, all right, yes, sir.
There are several stands we've seen just that are not on the tabletop or in the glass display, but with several products being featured. What are the stipulations on that, or how does that come to pass?
Yeah, so a lot of times, like for example, if somebody's a manufacturer of a grill or a front end or something like that, or light bars, if they have several different products that they want to display on one stand, we do allow that. Usually they come in on wheels, as long as the same rules will still apply. They can't put marketing or advertising. Their logo can be on there, and it just has to be not an excessive amount of space that it takes up, but just enough to display the product.
What if you have two products that have to work in tandem with each other?
We can make an arrangement to get those displayed together, but they would need to be entered separately, but into the same category so that they'll be in the same case. Yeah, so a lot of times, like for example, if somebody's a manufacturer, to get those displayed together.